Hey, this is CJ.
And I'm Reimy.
And you're listening to Jam Chats
on BYU Radio. Today's guest, Alli Barker.
I don't know how to break up. I don't know how to break up. Default love, heart and soul.
Alli Barker is an indie artist whose music features catchy lyrics with a rich, impactful meaning.
Born and raised in Utah, Alli has begun to capture national attention with her music, including winning the John Lennon Songwriting Contest in 2022.
Today, we'll talk to her about vulnerability and what it means to find yourself through trials. She's performing live in the Jam Chat studio, and you won't want to miss it.
Alli Barker, welcome to Jam Chats.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So, like we usually do on Jam Chats, let's start with you growing up. You're from Pleasant Grove, one of the best cities on earth. I'm not biased at all.
Very pleasant.
Reimy's from PG.
I am from PG. Tell me about your high school experience.
Yeah. So high school, I was a drama kid. I was a drama nerd, and I did lots of musical theater.
What productions did you do?
I did The Wizard of Oz. I did one called Pippin, but my favorite was The Secret Garden as Mary. I have I don't have a typical drama kid voice that's very like operatic, and so I was always cast as like the children because I have a very like simple voice. So it was great. It was a great start into really performing and perfecting my stage presence kind of thing. I don't know if I should say perfecting because it's not perfect, but I really just grew a love for performing through theater.
So, where are you in your family?
I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of four.
I'm trying to analyze you right now to see if that makes sense. You being the oldest. So, how many kids in your family?
4. So
and you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest. I have a sister right underneath me and then 2 brothers.
Nice. Were you like the second mom, kind of?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always creating games and things for them to do, babysitting, all of that. So I actually, in recent years, roped all of them into being my band. So that shows very much older sister mentality there of like, hey, you're doing this, you're doing this. You're on drums, you're on guitar.
So tell us about your love of music then. When did that start?
My love of music definitely comes from my dad. He always had music playing, and it's not really reflected in the style of music that I play now, but I really love lots of 80s pop and rock, and I was raised on that, and it was always playing.
I think this is really cool that your whole family is musical. So you have your dad, you have your siblings that at least can be your backup band. Is that right?
Yeah. And then my dad plays piano by ear. So he would just sit down and play piano all the time. And my sister plays violin. My brother does drums. My other brother's guitarist. But I like to write. That's my main thing.
Did you guys perform as a family?
Well, like, I'll perform with my siblings, but I think just at home there's just a very outgoing, performative aspect of everyone has opinions about things that they'll explain very enthusiastically. Or my dad will just make up silly songs about things growing up. It's just kind of a part of being a part of the Barker household.
Walking into the Barker household, it's like walking into High School Musical.
There you go.
There you go.
So do you feel like that has influenced your music as you've been writing?
Yeah, just because I just grew up around, it was not foreign. It was not a foreign thing. And my parents didn't care if I was belting Broadway songs in the basement or just making lots of sound.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we stifle kids. We put a lid on their, if it's bugging us as parents, sometimes I think we just say, hey, stop doing that. That's annoying.
Right.
And so that's really cool that your family has that culture and, you know, as your parents just let you
Yeah,
go
they've
nuts.
always been super supportive, which is really, I don't think I would be the way that I am without that support. Because even when I came to them with my first song that I wrote, like later on in high school, they were like, you should do this. This is cool. Even though it was a very dumb song. It was not good.
That's so cool that they were so encouraging. I bet that meant a lot to you that they,
It meant the
were
world.
positive.
It meant the whole world.
So, Alli, do you have a song that you could play for us that's a little more fun or, I don't know, maybe a little goofy?
Absolutely. I have the perfect song in mind. This song is funny because I haven't recorded it yet, but I played at a lot of my shows at the request of people who've heard it before. It was one of those songs I wrote pretty jokingly, but then people really liked it and they keep pushing me to record it, but I don't know if I will. So it's on this podcast. So then I can just say, hey, go listen to the podcast if I don't ever record this.
Alli, we love exclusives on Jam Chat, so this is an exclusive.
This is amazing.
So what's this song called?
So it's called Trader Joe's.
Yes, my favorite store.
Right? Right. The concept of it is if you met someone on a dating app or online, this is for you, because I feel like as a songwriter and anyone in the arts really just has a very romantic view on love, and meeting someone on a dating app is not the most romantic thing. And I feel like anyone who's had this experience has had the moment where someone asks, how did you meet your husband? How did you meet your wife? And you want to say like this grand story, but you met on a dating app. But this song is about making up a story instead of saying that.
Well, we got to hear it.
Let's go.
So everybody, this is Trader Joe's by Alli Barker, and it's exclusive, and she's going to play it live here on Jam Chats on BYU Radio.
We could meet at Trader Joe's, aisle 7, heaven knows. Between oats or potatoes, that's where I'd find you. But I met you on the internet, there's no change in that fact. Kinda hoping for a meet cute with you instead. Forget it all, we'll just tell 'em we met at Trader Joe's. But if that isn't plausible, we could meet right after class, hallway walking hand in hand. Chemistry or French, I guess that's where I'd find you. But I met you on the internet, there's no change in that fact. Kinda hoping for a meet cute with you instead. Forget it all, we'll just tell 'em we met right after class. But if I'm being honest, I don't really care, 'cause when you smile, I forget I saw you online. You're a dream, my circuit's rewired. You've got me changing my mind. Since I met you on the internet, things have never been better. Don't really care what other people think when I'm wearing your sweater. Forget it all, we'll just tell 'em we met on the internet.
Amazing.
That's really cute.
That's so cute. Anytime I go to Trader Joe's now, it's probably going to jump right in my head.
I wonder if you could sell that to Trader Joe's and
guys, hook me up.
turn
Let's
that
do
into
this.
a whole thing. That would be awesome.
No, but, the thing about that song was that sometimes we want these big romantic kind of things, but life is a lot of sometimes just simple things, right? What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I think what I was trying to get to was it doesn't matter how you meet them if you meet the love of your life, right? In the end, I don't care what other people think if I'm wearing your sweater. I'm happy that I'm with you and that it doesn't matter how I found you, but I found you.
So as Jam Chat's hosts, CJ and I do a little bit of research. So tell me a little bit about this little summer camp called Little Birds.
Yeah,
I don't know how you found that. I'm racking my brain to figure out how you found out that I did that, but I will tell you.
We called your dad, first of all.
Called my dad.
No, we didn't.
I made no phone calls.
Okay, well, I was very entrepreneurial minded as a child, and I was always trying to figure out other ways to scrounge up some cash. And at 11 years old, I started this summer camp that I would do out of my basement. And I was 11. So I look back and I'm like, I was a kid doing this. I don't know why the parents trusted me. If you're listening to this and you were one of those parents, thank you, because
Oldest child syndrome right here.
Yep.
Yeah, but I just gathered and then as I got older, I did it for 6 years. And basically it was just in the summer, and once a week, all these kids would come over to my basement and we'd do a themed day. So some days were like pirate day or, pajama day or, just things like that. And they'd do activities and games. And
You did that from 11 to 17?
like 18.
18?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I hired my sister. So she was co-founder with me after she got old enough.
Your sister who was in your band that you put in.
Yeah, I made her play violin in one of my shows.
We're really starting to get to know you now.
You're starting to understand. But it was a really fun creative outlet for me to create all of these fun games and things. And I love kids. I've always loved kids. Been a nanny and all kinds of things. And so...
That's amazing. Tell me why this is obviously your 11-year-old brain, so do what you can with how long it's been. But tell me why you're thinking, okay, I need to make some money. Why did it first go to kids? You just mentioned, I love kids. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I guess I was already kind of doing it anyway. All the kids in the neighborhood would come over to my house and I'd be like, hey, we're going to do a play and I had them audition for their parts, and I'd put on the play for the parents. And so I was already kind of doing this kind of thing.
She was that kind of girl.
She was the ringleader.
She was the ringleader of the whole neighborhood.
I get it.
Oh, that's so cool. You're a natural leader. People want to follow you.
Or bossy, whatever you want to call it.
Maybe.
But it was fun, and I just had a lot of good memories with kids in my neighborhood and ward and everything growing up.
That's cool. But you've made a career out of it. I mean, you studied human development. You said you were a nanny.
Yeah, so I went to New York and I was a live-in nanny / estate manager there. But while I was there, I'd sneak away on the weekends or whatever and go down to Brooklyn and record music. So it was a good place to be.
Awesome.
Because I had my job and then I would
How
record.
cool is that to live out in New York?
It was so fun. It was fun.
What's the best pizza in Brooklyn?
Oh, whatever you can find right on the corner.
Seriously, that's what
There
it
you
is.
go.
But as a drama kid, you didn't go down to Broadway and check
It
us.
was COVID. So all the shows were closed.
Oh,
Lame.
That's too bad.
So, Alli, this is so great to have you on the show. We need to get back into some music. We need to hear some music that you've recorded. Tell us about your recording experience. You said you went to Brooklyn and started recording.
Yeah, I've worked with several different producers who all of them have been amazing and wonderful to work with. And I've jumped all over the place with my recording style and the type of music I've recorded, it's hard for me to stick to one niche of music. But there's a song I'd love you to play that was actually recorded here in Utah.
Oh, what's the name of that song?
It's called I Don't Know How to Break Up.
Okay. So is it a breakup song?
It is a breakup song.
So all these songs aren't super happy then?
No.
You got a little bit of depth to you.
We were talking about relationships a minute ago and how they're really important. And, I was dating this guy and it's pretty serious. We talked about getting married and everything. And there were some red flags and things that came up that it just became apparent that it was not going to continue. And I felt so helpless because no one ever teaches you how to break up with somebody.
That's a great point.
No one ever teaches you, right? You're just totally clueless once you get to that point. And as someone who wants to do it right, this song was kind of born out of that. And there's not really a good way. And
That is such a profound thing you just said. No one teaches you how to break up. That's totally true. I never thought of that.
So.
Well, let's hear it. Let's play this song.
Everybody, this is I Don't Know How to Break Up by Alli Barker. You're listening to Jam Chats on BYU Radio.
This is the last time that I'll see your face. You're drenched in loneliness with your suitcase. Am I supposed to comfort you and say, don't be scared? Am I supposed to laugh with you like we don't care that we've hurt each other bad this time? I don't know how to break up. I don't know how to break up. I don't know how to break up. You said goodbye to my mom and my dog. You know that killed me, 'cause they love you a lot. Am I supposed to kiss you, 'cause it's the last time? Am I supposed to wipe your tears and say, we'll be fine, when we both know we won't this time? I don't know how to break up. I don't know how to break up. I don't know how people fall in love and then they fall apart. I'll never understand the way of the human heart. I was curled up on your floor when you screamed and slammed the door, and you told me I was a waste of your time. I don't know how to break up. I don't know how to break up. I don't know how to break up.
Alli, that was heartbreaking. I love that song. It's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. What is that about you that makes you want to do a breakup the right way?
Not that it's a good thing, but I think sometimes we try to people please. We try to do... There'd be a part of what you're saying where it's good. There's probably a good nature part where it's I want to do the right thing. And the other part of just trying to be like, I don't want to hurt someone forever kind of thing, even though it's kind of impossible when you're doing that kind of thing.
It's impossible because you can't let someone down easy, right?
Mm-mm.
There's really no way. But I'm kind of like that too. I can relate to that, you know?
Yeah, I think when I think about, previous relationships I've had, I think about there was this deep connection and you want the best for them, but you just have to make that right choice for you. And I feel like that's such a hard duality that I think your song is getting to, is you're trying to do the best for this person because you want the best for them, but at the same time, you also need to do what you know you need to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that was kind of a sad song. Do you have any more sad songs?
I'm going to play one more sad song for you, and then we'll get into other things. How about that?
Well,
does that sound okay?
Alli, I got to tell you a little secret. This whole season, it kind of feels like every artist that we've brought on, sad songs become therapeutic for them.
Absolutely.
Tell us about the next song you want to play.
Yeah. I just want to touch on that point really quick.
Do it.
Because I met someone once, and they said, I was introducing myself, and they're like, oh, what do you like to do? And all of that. And I said, oh, I love to write music. And their immediate response was, you must be very sad inside. And I was like, I wasn't used to that response. It caught me off guard, because usually people are like, oh, you should go on American Idol. And it's like, for someone to go, you must be sad inside, it really made me think, and I started to think about why would they say that? And it's because they hear the sad music and they hear these things. And I think that all of art is expressing just what people feel in general, what humanity feels. Just because someone writes music doesn't mean they're a sadder person. It just means they're expressing it.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
So I just want to say that because sometimes we all experience hard things. We all experience sad things. But it's just giving a voice to that instead of saying, I don't experience any sadness. I'm fine.
I'm perfect.
I'm fine.
I love that because you're giving a voice to an emotion that people don't like to feel. Why do you think songwriters love to experience that emotion?
I love, for me, it's like encapsulating it, right? Sometimes our feelings feel so big and so crazy and you can't nail it down. But if you try to write a song or you try to write a poem or however you want to express yourself, whoever's listening to this, you can pinpoint it and look at it and study it and go, I have an almost physical thing of this moment in my life. And it's like a journal entry that's crystallized and you can see it. And that's why I love writing, because I feel like I can nail it down instead of it consuming me and just covering me and I don't know what's going on, right?
I like that. Well, you mentioned that you want to play another sad song.
Yeah.
What's this one called?
So this one's called Bambi Eyes. It's kind of a combination of a lot of relationships and a feeling of specifically being lied to.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. When I say Bambi Eyes, I'm talking about going in innocent.
Oh, I
like
see.
a deer. You know, you see them, they just look so sweet.
Well, I'm really excited to hear it. This is Bambi Eyes performed live in the Jam Chat studio. You're listening to BYU Radio.
He says to me, you look like you have Bambi eyes. Naivety, purity, soft and undisguised. I want to tell him, I want to tell him, I want to tell him, it's men like you who took away my Bambi eyes. He looks at me like he has never lied. A wolf in sheep's clothing, he's only posing as the good guy. And I want to tell him, I want to tell him, I want to tell him, it's men like you that taught me how to look for lies. La 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 and I want to tell him, I want to tell him, I want to tell him, it's men like you that look for girls with Bambi eyes.
Reimy and I were both feeling the heaviness of that one. I mean, darn.
Darn,
Alli.
he's right.
Darn, Alli.
I'm
Darn.
sorry. Whatever happened, I'm sorry.
My question to you, Alli, is there's a beauty in innocence. There's a beauty
yeah,
in that.
absolutely.
And how can you still retain that beauty and not get jaded in life when someone betrays you?
Ooh, you're asking a good question. I'm still learning this myself. But I think, as with anything, you keep going and life will surprise you, right? And you know what? It's okay if you're jaded for a little bit. It's kind of part of it. It's kind of part of working through it. How could you not be? The whole thing is to let it make you better and not bitter, right? And I don't want to be bitter. That's not fun. There's some level that you can choose, right? You can't choose if you immediately feel sad or feel mad, or you can't choose that sometimes, but you can choose how you keep going. I sometimes get bothered when people say, you get to choose how you feel. It's like, sometimes you can't.
Right.
But you get to choose what you do with that. You get to choose if you feel sad, are you going to go, oh, I'm going to keep moving through this. I'm going to keep trying things. I'm going to try to look at this in a different way. You can choose that part. So that's what I believe on that. And I'm still learning this. So if anyone has better wisdom than that, I'd love to know it.
Well, those words are very powerful. But now we want to hear some more music. What do you got for us?
I've got a song called Seafoam.
What's that about?
So my grandparents live in Oregon, and growing up, we would take trips to the Oregon coast.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Them, and it is one of my favorite places in the whole world. And I love the beach. I would spend hours on the beach. And if you've ever been to the Oregon coast, the water is not warm. It's very, very cold. But my siblings and I would spend hours in the water, just because we were so excited to be there. And I just have a lot of fond memories going with my grandparents and my family and being on the beach. And it was just very, very nostalgic. And so I wrote this song about kind of like fading nostalgic moments that disappear like seafoam.
Cool. Well, let's hear it. We're going to listen to Seafoam by Alli Barker. And this is Jam Chats on BYU Radio.
West Coast street lights. I thought I might stay forever. Salt and pavement, seashell fragments. I'd stay by the moon and so far away, but they'll be rolling away from my shore. They'll be rolling away. Seafoam roll, oh, seafoam roll. Green glass, smooth stones, clouded windows. I'll wait forever. Driftwood boardwalk. I'd sit and I'd talk. I'd wait forever. But it's hard when you fall in love with the ocean. Changing tides but I can't hold on to something that slips through my hands. Seafoam love. Oh, oh, oh. Seafoam love. Oh, oh, oh. Seafoam love.
Wow, Alli, I love the production on this. This is really cool. Tell me how all of this came about, because most of your stuff is just singer-songwriter. This is a little bit more produced. How did that come about?
Yeah, epic in some ways.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting when you write something simply on guitar and then you start having visions for it. This I wrote on the ukulele, as you can tell, it's featured in the track. But I pictured like big drums and big switches because ocean and big kind of whimsical grand vision. And so, I went to my producer, his name's Danny Ross in Brooklyn, and I had all these ideas, but I was just showing him on the ukulele first, right? But then I was talking about these massive drums and big changes, and he was like, okay, let's do it. And together we just kind of pieced it out, and I would say like, oh, I hear strings in this section and kind of like this melody for that. And it's a very interesting thing to go from just writing to making a full production of a song. I'm sure you guys have talked to many artists about this, of that transition from it being a very simple thing to a totally...
It takes on its own life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've noticed too in some of your songs, kind of have some of those switches where like you'll have these kind of big open spaces and then you'll jump into something new. Tell me why you do that so much.
Because I think it's weird and fun.
Yes. Alli, keeping it weird.
I do. I think it's interesting because, the time signature change catches a lot of people off guard, and it's not a very typical choice.
In connection with seafoam, and we're talking about the sea and the ocean is ever changing. So I think your choice in that is actually a really cool choice.
You're going to make that more poetic than I am.
Well, it sounds like I wasn't the only one who really enjoyed it, because you also won a song contest for this song. Did you not?
I did.
Tell us about that.
I submitted this song to the John Lennon Songwriting Contest, and I won their summer award for it. They were wanting summery type songs, and so this one won, and it was really fun. And
that's awesome.
They had me do a little interview with them, and they sent me some free headphones.
Nice.
Which was great, and did a little feature on me, which was fun.
That's really cool.
Speaking of John Lennon, I've heard a little Beatles influence in your music. I don't know.
I was very much raised on the Beatles.
Okay, there we go.
I'm glad you can hear
it
it through all the like songwriter girl that doesn't really sound Beatles-y, but...
Before you came in, I was like going back to Sgt. Pepper's and your songs. And I was like, see, there's some influence there. Well, I am just loving this episode, having you on the show. We got to get to more music. That's what Jam Chats is about, everybody. So what do you got next for us?
All right, I've got a song. This is one of my most recently written songs, so it's a little fresher. This song is called The Ideal, and if you're writing it out, it's I-deal. And that's important because it's about making a deal with yourself. Like an ideal. I don't know. It's a deal with me, a me deal. And the song is about my perfectionism and how it's a horrible thing. The ideal,
wow.
the perfectionism.
We are uncovering like an onion skin layers of Alli Barker here. One of them you mentioned earlier, you just hinted at that you're a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And you're a perfectionist.
Yes.
Do those two go hand in hand a little bit?
Oh, they're holding hands, skipping down the lane.
I thought so. So can you tell us a little bit, before you play the song, can you tell us a little bit of what that means? How does that manifest itself in you?
I feel like there's not a lot of songs that talk about perfectionistic tendencies. And I have had this concept in my mind for a long time of something that I've struggled with, of wanting to be perfect or wanting to do things the right way, like we talked about earlier, and the reality is we're all mortal and life does not go perfectly and we make mistakes and we need to learn to be okay with that. And being perfectionistic is sometimes held up as like a beautiful thing, an ideal thing, and it's not. It's not. And I'm trying to debunk that with this song.
You know what I heard the other day? I thought it was really profound. The only perfect person on earth wasn't a perfectionist.
I love that. That is true. So once we talked about in some lesson at church or something that to be perfect means to be complete and whole. And to have a complete mortal experience, that means you're going to experience falling down. So part of our perfection in the long run is not being perfect. Mm-hmm. That's what God thinks, right? Because, you mess up, you learn how to ask for forgiveness. You learn how to repent. That's part of being perfect, which is kind of an interesting, does that make sense? Like how I'm explaining it, like a roundabout way of being imperfect is on the journey to getting you to be complete.
That's amazing. I love the way you put that. And if his plan is perfect, and his plan that is that we're not going to be perfect all the time, then you're right. Maybe that is the perfect plan.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that, okay, everything's fine. Everything to do is great. That's not what he's saying. I think he's saying if you stumble in your pursuit of coming towards me, that's okay. That's part of learning and that's part of becoming who you're meant to be. So
did you work out some of those feelings in the writing of the song?
Yes. I will say this song is, I feel like this is my most edgy song in the sense of when I play this live, I use my electric guitar and my brothers are drumming with me. I'm going to do the stripped back version for you, but it's kind of like if you were looking at perfectionism as like a grungy drug and I don't know. I don't know if that even makes any sense, but just something that you can get addicted to that...
Yeah, because you can get addicted to perfectionism just like anything.
Yeah, that is not good for you. And it's a deal you make with yourself that's bad, the ideal. It's not a good deal that you're making with your own brain.
The ideal. There we go.
The ideal.
So finally
That's
just
why
clicked
it's
for me.
called that. He got it. It clicked.
Well, I'd love to hear it. This is Alli Barker playing The Ideal on Jam Chats.
On BYU Radio.
I've become an addict, but I think I like it self-prescribed. The madness known as my to-do list. I know how to make a deal with a girl like me. Just tell her how to get a perfect everything. Put me in the rat race, hold me like a knife. I bite my lip, then bite it twice. Get the body of a dancer, strength like an ox. Don't move an inch, stay in that box. Keep on running and running and running around this room. Running and running and running, it isn't true. The ideal. The ideal. Eat the ugly truth now. Just a spoonful, rather swallow lies than admit I'm mortal. I know how to make a deal with a girl like me. Just tell her how to get a flawless everything. Put me in the rat race, hold me like a knife. Bite my lip, then bite it twice. Get the body of a dancer, strength like an ox. Don't move an inch, stay in that box. Keep on running and running and running around this room. Running and running and running, it isn't true. The The ideal. The ideal holds me like a dancer, cuts me like a knife, bites my leg, then bites it twice. I'm stuck in the rat race, pulling like an ox. When you're dead, you're in a box.
Dude, that was gritty. I like that.
That's fun. I feel like this one feels a little different than some of your
Yeah,
others.
this is departure from
That's what I
the
said.
sweet Alli Barker Bambi Eyes.
Yeah.
That's why I said like my edgiest
Yeah.
song. But
I
I've had
felt
people
that
say
one.
like, I want you to record this song. And so this is the first place it has ever been recorded. So
This is
right here. Live.
exclusive.
Exclusive.
We need like a chime or something.
yeah, like a little
bang, exclusive jam chats. Alli, that was cool. That was
Yeah.
a really cool. You got to record that song.
Yeah.
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 I'm curious. Can I ask a question?
Oh yeah.
Can I turn?
Yeah, that's never
Can I
happened.
turn the table?
Yes.
We've never had somebody ask
us a question.
a question.
Yes, Alli, please ask us anything. We got to open.
They're all settling into their chairs. Like, no, I'm curious. When you talk to all these artists, what has been your experience with talking to them about sharing these very vulnerable emotions? And what are your thoughts on just kind of songwriting in general with that?
Thank you for asking that, first of all. What I found in songwriting in general, and with songwriters who go there, who actually go to the vulnerable place, that's where the good part is. And we've experienced that with a lot of our artists on Jam Chats, haven't we?
Yeah. For me, is I've watched some songwriters and they've experienced some type of experience that weighs really heavy on their life. And it takes them a little bit to write the song. And they've all said, you can't force it. You can't force
No,
it.
You can't.
And it makes me think of, they've experienced this, horrible thing or this trying time, and they want to write a song about it because they want to process it. But no matter what, it's going to take the time, and that it will come naturally as long as they're still trying to push it out. So they try to be vulnerable, but it's sometimes hard to do because we're so scared.
Right.
And so you just have to do the best that you can to get it out, but also just know that it takes time.
We always make fun of lyrics like, I want to fly. Because, and we always say this, we've probably said it 4 times on this season. I'm using that as an example of lyrics that don't mean anything. Because like, what does that even mean? I want to fly. So I love when artists get personal, when they get specific, when they get, like you said earlier, weird. I think weird is
so important.
Weird is more important than we think.
Okay, I have a whole thing on this because, when we're kids, we're not afraid to be weird. We express ourselves very easily, and it's weird, and weird imagination, weird, funny, silly thoughts. And I think losing that, you can lose a little bit of that as you grow up. And I think that's a sad thing. And I think we should try to hold on to the parts of us that are silly, because they actually help us move through things. And I love weird, funny, silly things so much.
I think that's beautiful.
I think it's important to recognize serious, deep things, but weird, silly things belong so much in our life, and we don't need to kick them out. This plays into a big philosophy of why I actually decided to share my music. There's a quote that says, "The creative adult is the child who survived."
Ooh, that's so good.
I really believe that. And there's a lot of hard things like we're talking about in our lives that try to knock out the fun parts of us. And, if you're creative through the hard things, then that childlike part of you can still exist.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Alli, I think we've got time for one more song. What do you have that you can send us out with?
There's a song that I really am proud of the production that we did on it, and I'd love to end on it. It's called The Plea, and I actually wrote it after I had a dream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a dream while I was on my mission. I served a mission in New Zealand, and I had this really interesting dream about angels, and I woke up and I wrote the song like right after waking up. I woke up really early as a missionary, like before 6:30. I went downstairs, I had a little ukulele, and I wrote the song. I think a lot of people wouldn't think of it as a spiritual song, but it's about the premortal life. And one of the main lyrics is like, don't say you'll never go. And it's kind of like us spirits talking to each other, convincing our friends to come with us to Earth.
Come to Earth.
Yeah.
So before Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting.
So, but you would never know that without hearing it. But I'm giving you that little golden nugget on the podcast. So,
and it affected you enough to go downstairs and write a song.
mm-hmm.
That is so cool.
So it's supposed to be very angelic sounding and thinking about where we were before we were here.
What kind of emotion are you trying to encapsulate in that? Is it like excitement? Is it nerve? Like, what would you describe?
It's a pleading. It's called the plea. I wanted to talk about the longing that we sometimes have for people to experience God's love and God's plan. And, as a missionary, you're trying to convince people of that all day long. Mm-hmm. But I had this dream of we were trying to talk to people before we came to Earth of, I want you to come with me. Don't say you would never go. That's the lyric.
So cool.
It's kind of a weird thought, but also just spiritually thinking about the things we're experiencing here. To some degree, some of them we experienced before we came here as well.
Yeah, I believe that too. And also, I think it's really interesting. A lot of times I think in life, we're always concerned about our salvation or our relationship with God. And I like to sometimes think about how it's all of us together. And I kind of like what you're saying. You're trying to convince people, let's go. You would never go. Or wait, what'd you say?
Play the song and you'll see.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Everybody, this is The Plea by Alli Barker. You're listening to Jam Chats on BYU Radio.
Don't say you would never go. Don't say you would never show you would run to
would never have known that this song is about the pre-existence.
Yeah.
But now that you gave us some context, I can totally hear angels singing. I can see harps playing. What else do you hear, Reimy?
Yeah, it's just kind of my head's up in the clouds and I can just see like angels flying through. I want to fly, guys.
I want to
There's that. I wanna fly.
Alli, this has been so much fun to have you on the show. I feel like we've uncovered layer after layer of just depth of you as a person and as a songwriter. This has been awesome.
I liked the nitty gritty part too, the edgy.
Nitty gritty. Nitty gritty, everybody.
So just to end here, where are you going? Where can we get a hold of you?
If you're listening to this, you can reach out to me on Instagram and I will reply. I'm not high and mighty by any means, and I want to talk to people who've listened to my music. If it impacted you in any way, please just message me and I'd love to talk to you.
What's your Insta?
It's _ Alli Barker.
Cool.
And where can they find your music?
You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you stream music, it's there. And so you can find it anywhere.
Awesome. Well, Alli, thanks for coming on the show.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Been fun chatting and jamming on Jam Chats.
And to everybody else,
I'm CJ.
and I'm Reimy.
And I'm Alli.
Yes. Have a good night, everybody.